If you're a heat nursing technician or even a salesperson, what are the two biggest complaints in the industry and why does it matter? This is a fantastic question. I'm Scott Sylvan Bell, coming to you live for HVAC Technician Sales Secrets on a perfect day to talk about sales and business and a fantastic day to talk about you. Coming to you live from Sacramento. All right, so there is a lot of underlying anger and resentment in the marketplace for these two items, okay? So almost all the time when I get complaints from homeowners on my channel that's built for technicians and salespeople, just so you know, is it comes down to time and money. Time and money. These two things are what get people really wrapped up, really angry, really frustrated. Like, you should see some of the messages that I get that I have to delete. OMG, right? So here's the thing. Most buyers don't know how business works. So in their mind, everything should be the cheapest thing possible. The market should drive down the price, and no thing is too cheap. Like, we're just going to keep driving price down. What they don't realize is to hire the best, to use the best products, it's completely opposite of what they're thinking, right? If you want me to give you a long warranty, I'm going to have to charge the prices that we charge for what we do. And I'll go over that here in a minute. So number one, time. Time is a known and unknown constant. You, my friend, may take an hour to change a fan motor. I may take 30 minutes. You may take 45 minutes to change a contactor. I may take 10, okay? You may be able to evacuate a system and get it recharged in 2 hours, and it may take me 4 or 5. Like, time is a known and unknown constant, okay? So be aware of that. How long it takes for you to get there. Everybody thinks they're like, hey, I got the phone, call it right now. As soon as I hang up, somebody should be here. Well, you know, if you live in a big city and you do a lot of advertising, there was a day in one of the companies that I worked for that they did 1,200 inbound calls on the hottest day of the year. There's not enough technicians on the planet to take care of 1,200 calls, right? They were booked out 10 days. They had 60 or 70 technicians. How long it takes for you to repair. There's some people that are just freaking good with their hands. There's some people that have been out in the field long enough that, like, when you go out to the truck to go grab something, they've already changed it. And you're like, what just happened? And then there's some dudes, like, it takes them all day. And you're like, you know, this would have taken me 12 minutes, okay? So be aware, the time that it takes. So this is confusing the homeowners because they'll see you do it super quick and it works and everything's done properly. Then they see the other guy and it takes them 4 hours. They're like, we're confused. Time. The time for repair versus time versus cost. I remember I changed a zone board. There's a proprietary zone board here in Sacramento for a lot of the houses. And so you just get used to changing them. And at the time, it was a level 6 repair for the place that I worked, 2008, 2009, right? Level 6 repair, $636 plus $79.95 for the dispatch fee. I was in and out of there in 30 minutes, and the lady was freaking out of her mind. You charged me $711 or something like that for being here for 30 minutes. I'm like, would you have rather me taking longer? She's like, for $700, yes. So I had to change up my question. Like, hey, I'm really good with my hands. I could change this thing in an hour, or I could change this thing in 30 minutes. And some people go, for that much money, take an hour. So you make phone calls. I mean, to me, it's a waste of time. I don't get it. That's what they wanted. And for other people, like 30 minutes, get it done as long as it's done right. Done. Deal. Okay? Time it takes to get to the date. When it's busy, when it's hot, like, you may have to wait 2 weeks for an install. When it's cold and you got to worry about snow, shipping may take 2 or 3 weeks. So it's time to get the install date or time that it takes to get to the part. Time the equipment is down. Like, for some people, they're going to be fixed quick, and for some people, they're going to be fixed slow. And so all of these things wrap into time. Okay, so we got father time. We got time. And this right here is why you should join HVACTechSecrets.com. I'll give you the goods, not in the Facebook group, not on the YouTube channel, which means private coaching, private training, discounted coaching, discounted training. It is an email list. You'll get emails from me. Okay, so number 2, money. Money. People are like, money. They get mad. Money, right? So cost in general. Everything is freaking expensive these days. Not to get political, not to get social economical, but we have inflation. We have rampant inflation. So everything is like up 20, 30%, okay? Cost of parts. What a part costs, like, I don't know, capacitors, if you're at a big company, probably cost your company $5 or $6. On the store, they're probably like 15 or 20, okay? Maybe on a website, they might be 30. But you have to charge $300 or $400 for it. That is the cost of doing business. That is the cost of having a warehouse on wheels show up and have things available so the guy doesn't have to run to the parts warehouse. Okay. So the other option is to say, hey, look, here's what I can do is I can start the clock and I can drive to the parts warehouse and I can go grab that part and charge you while I drive, or I could just have the part on the vehicle and we've already got that figured in. No, well, you've already got it on the vehicle. Yeah, we can do it as a convenience, right? I could come back in 2 hours once I get everything and grab some lunch and call a couple of friends. Cost of service. Service is expensive. Good service is really expensive. There are some people on the cheap model, not knocking it, but there's a point where they're like, I can't do cheap anymore, gonna have to charge for what I do. The discrepancy between companies for parts. You, my friend, may charge $400 or $500 for a capacitor. Somebody down the street may charge $250. You can't collude. I can't go to XYZ company next door and be like, hey, XYZ company, I got a heating and air company. I think we should all charge $350 for capacitors. Yeah, that's against the law. But across the board in your state, your town, your jurisdiction, parts are probably going to be within 20 to 30% of each other, right? It's really dependent upon what the market is and what you do. The discrepancy between companies for systems. Okay, you can have companies, I'm going to give you numbers in Sacramento, simmer down if you live in another part of the country. I get it, it's not as expensive. A chuck and a truck in Sacramento may charge $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 for a system. A well-known branded company may charge $20 or $21. And homeowners and consumers are like, why is it going to take the same, we gave that time, why is it going to take the same amount of time, and how come there's a discrepancy? Well, you may have somebody who is by themselves, and for them, $8,000, $9,000, $10,000 pays the bills. And if you're on the other end and you work for a branded company, the argument would be that's not a real company. They're just getting started. You've got a lot of risk, okay? So be aware that if you're up against this as a salesperson or as a technician, you need to know how to be able to answer these questions. Cost for warranty. There is no money in warranty work in heating and air. There's no money in warranty work in plumbing. So the manufacturer will be like, here's your part, you pay for labor, right? So every company has a different cost for labor for warranty. And some companies have fake warranties where they're like, we'll extend your warranty. Buy now, buy today. There's one left in the back of the truck. We got a scratch and dent. We call my manager. It's not a real warranty. It's not bought from a company. It's provided by the company. The company goes out of business. And homeowner's like, well, I got a 10-year part, 10-year labor warranty. It's worth the paper that it's written on. That's about it. And then number, 7? 7 or 8, I don't know. Cost broken down or not broken down. People are like, I want to see how you got to that price. A lot of companies give a cookbook. They're like 3-ton, SEER 2 unit, $15,000, add permit, add filter, add return, add thermostat. The salesperson may have no idea what it costs. But the bigger companies have figured out we could probably get that done in 8 hours. It's the sales guy's responsibility to figure out, is this a 1-day job or a 2-day job, and charge accordingly. Now, what may take one install team 1 day may take another install day team 2 or 3. So there is a lot of I don't really necessarily know how to answer this question. I can't give you a direct answer, but I will share this with you. When you start looking at the complaints in your service department, the complaints for your installs, the complaints for what you do, the underlying resentment and anger is going to come down to time and money. Time and money. For all the reasons I just mentioned, and probably about 25 more that I didn't. But I gave you the highest level of why do people freak out over time and money? Because money is emotional because it takes time to make it, okay? As soon as you understand that, it'll help you out. You got 1 of 3 things to do from here, just 1 of 3. Find the subscribe button, click on it. Every time I send out a video, you'll get an update. 2, hit follow. 3, you know what you got to do. Share this video with a friend. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.